Good evening. I would like to take this opportunity first introduce myself, Rachel Moidy. I'm the proud principal of Brookwood Elementary. I am just honored to be here tonight to just showcase some of the things we are most proud of at Brookwood this year. I'd also like to thank each of you. I've never been able to officially thank everyone for the opportunity to serve as principal at Brookwood Elementary. It is an honor to lead this community, and I wouldn't want to be any other place. So I don't take this responsibility lightly, and I'd like to just go ahead now and also thank you for your support for the leadership development programs in Forsyth County. I know I would not be in this position today without the commitment to growing leaders, and with that, I also promise to do my part to continue to grow leaders in our district. I'd like to take this time now to introduce my administrators that I have with me today, Dr. Brandy Ford, and Mrs. Becky Cahill. So we are very proud of the things we have going on at Brookwood, so we're going to go ahead and spotlight some of those now. So here I wanted to, like I said, thank you for the opportunity to be at Brookwood. And it's so much more than just the principal role. For me, it is an extension of my family. I consider my staff members, my admin team, my students, just an extension of the family, and I know they do as well. So here we have just some examples of connections that we were able to make right away in our community. Our amazing PTO helps set up meet and greet opportunities at the neighborhood, the clubhouses and the pools, and so we had families coming and just looking to make those connections before school started last year. Our PTO also helps support monthly spirit nights at local restaurants, and so it gives us an opportunity to come together, to see everyone outside the school setting, and we really are fortunate that we have them monthly, actually, and we have great participation with that. So along with being principal, I also have the honor of being a parent of Brookwood Elementary. My son is in second grade, so we've been able to experience first day of principal, first day at a new school, and then now again this year being there together. And I will say, it's not easy being the principal's son, but he gives some good feedback. So unsolicited, I will say, but he keeps it's a good connection to have that, and it's something that I think he thinks is pretty cool right now. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the years. I also have pictured here at the top my core team, and along with the core team, I also have my front office staff. This connection is what really started to drive our work. Here we are having just a team building experience this summer, kind of fits with the theme that I'm going to talk about in a little bit, but without these ladies, I mean, they are the driving force, and they are why we are where we are today. So let's dig into some of the things that were established at Brookwood before I came in as principal, we were able to build on this year. So we start, with having our work support our district vision of, creating a safe, connected, and thriving community for all. So in starting with our staff and forming those connections, we focus on a theme. We started last year with We've Got This Together, with a focus on the power of collective teacher efficacy and working together to power through our first year together. And it was easily woven into all of our work. And at our very last faculty meeting, we switched it to We Did This Together and celebrated our work throughout the year. And transitioning into this year, our theme is Sow to Grow. We are pouring into our staff members, every staff member, and making sure that they have the nutrients they need to thrive. So it's not just professional development, but we're looking at pouring into them on a personal level as well, so that everyone can be the best versions of themselves at school, so ultimately we can have that impact on our students. Brookwood has been a 7 mindset school for a very long time. So it was deeply embedded in the work. We're continuing that work. We have strengthened our positive learning environment team. So that's made up of various staff members led by Mrs. Cahill. And they help to build those strong relationships throughout the school. We have established houses in Brookwood, so every student belongs to a house, and they are represented by multiple grade levels, and it gives our students an opportunity to feel that connection and to come together to support our 7 mindsets and also our school-wide behavior initiative, which is ROAR. So our students at Brookwood, we roar, and we are responsible, open-hearted, accountable, and respectful. And our opportunities through house meetings, and then also adding in this year house buddies. This is something that we brought back based on teacher feedback. They were looking for stronger connections during house meetings where it felt overwhelming with having so many students. They didn't have those personal connections. So we set up house buddies, and that gives them chances for, let's say, a kindergarten class and a fourth grade class to come together. They're talking about, what does ROAR look like throughout our school? How can we show what it means to be responsible, open-hearted, accountable, and respectful? And then they're also weaving in our mindset lessons into those times. So we're looking forward to what that's going to build upon this year. And I think one of the best examples, I was able to pop into a first grade, fourth grade combination for their first House Buddies meeting. And we have our specialized instruction classes that meet with their linked grade level or classes as well. And one of our students was sharing, they asked, how would you define being open-hearted? And she used her communication device to share kind. And the rest of the students started cheering. And they saw that she was so proud to share her definition through her device. And she wouldn't have had that same, I think, just the power of the students and how proud they were of her in that moment. So that was one of the biggest takeaways there. And then moving forward, adding on to ROAR and our positive behavior incentives, we are in the pre-planning phases for PBIS. And so we're looking forward to growing that initiative and working towards implementation for next year. So that kind of sums up the foundation, our core work of what we have going on. So let's talk about some things that are new this year at Brookwood. So last year, we were in the planning phases for our Heritage Night. I included a parent survey in our newsletter, and I just asked them for their support with a special project. I didn't give details or what that would look like, and at that time I wasn't really sure how that was going to come to fruition. But we asked our parents to share their home language, and then how do you say hello and welcome in your language? So with that, we took just a simple parent survey and turned that into a welcoming piece of art in front of our school. So you'll see here, we had this family, they were leaving open house, and on their own, were trying to find their word. And then they did, and I was just really excited to see it happen naturally. So I asked if they would take a picture for me so I could share that with us. And then the other family, they are one of our frequent walk to school families. So they walk every day, sometimes with sister from middle school. And even this past week, they had their grandparents there. And I saw she was able to go and show them the word in their language. So what started, it's permanent, it's here forever. We have space to grow. There are more squares to add more words. But it is an instant connection with the school. And we have such a unique makeup for our school. But we have a little video here for you guys. I think the students will do a better job of explaining just the significance of our work.
That's cute.
Uh-oh, nope. Okay, let's see. I'm going to escape this here.
Sometimes it's just the smallest things that make the biggest impact, isn't it? It's just really neat to see that.
Thank you. Here we go. Okay. So You know, that is something that we have going on outside of our school that I think is having a big impact. But I would like to give Brandy and Becky an opportunity to share something that we have going on inside our school.
All right, thank you guys for having us tonight. So as you guys all know, communication is the key to building connections. And at our school, we have a really unique opportunity. We have students who are learning English, but we also have the opportunity to recognize and value the multitude of world languages spoken at our school and in our local community. So we had the idea of how do we help these students and families feel welcome, and actually started like a really small event at the end of last year. We had a new family coming. It was like a Thursday morning. I just happened to be walking by. They speak primarily Mandarin. So I used my very limited Mandarin, which is the word hello, by the way. And I just said hello and welcome to the building. And then they walked onto the classroom. But I realized there were so many students in our school who could have done such a great job connecting immediately with that family, welcoming them and letting them know you're not alone. You may not speak English yet, but we have people here, friends here who can bring you in immediately and connect you. So that was sort of the impetus for this idea. So from there, we thought about how can we take our students who speak English and another language and have them connect with the students who don't yet speak English. Could they come together during lunch? Give that child a chance to be heard during the day, because it can be really isolating to not really speak the whole day because you're not sure what to say. So how could we build those connections? Then we thought, well, some of our older kids, our 4th and 5th graders, could they do the same thing maybe for adults? So could they be ambassadors for us when new families come? Could they be there to greet them and to help us welcome them to locations around the school? So we felt really strongly that this was going to be a huge connection for our students and our community, but we didn't just want to throw something out there and then it kind of quickly fizzle. So we knew we wanted to start with language alike, but we knew we needed bigger connections from that, so we started to develop a 3-year plan.
So in wanting to be able to watch our garden grow, to connect back to our theme of Sow to Grow, we knew we needed a plan. We needed to plot our course and design what our garden would look like. So over the next 3 years, this year, as Ms. Cahill has already shared, we're really focusing on building those connections through languages. Students are having lunch bunches together. We're doing the ambassadors. We're creating lots of opportunities for all of our students to find those connections through the commonalities of language. Over the next 2 years, we're planning on working on building connections through individual interests. So that's coming up next year. We have lots of fun things in plans for that. That plan will continue to develop and revise and be refined over the course of this year. And I'm sure that we'll see things that we planned for this year that'll need to continue into next year also. Then for year 3, we really want to work on that safe, connected, thriving piece of our vertical teamings. And so we want to build connections through the pathways and look at our feeder schools. How can we develop connections with them for our students so that as they go to the 2 different feeders of South and Piney, that they really feel those connections and that we've built authentic connections in our building and throughout our community.
Well, thank you for giving us the chance to talk a little bit about what's going on now at Brookwood and what we have planned for the future. Do you guys